Yeah, hello everyone. How are you doing today? It's been a while. It's good to be back live. How are you doing today? Yeah, it's good to be back live again. It's been a while. Yeah, it's a very fantastic season for Chelsea Football Club. Just winning the FIFA Club World Cup here in the United States, uh, precisely at New Jersey. So we extremely grateful for that opportunity. That shows we are gradually getting our Chelsea Football Club back. Hey, Kochi, good morning. How are you? Good to see you here. Yeah, thank you very much, Coach. How's the family? How's everything going? Yeah, well done. Yeah. So it's very exciting to see Chelsea standing up to the expectation. I think the expectation was just from we the fans on an average, apart from the sport predicting app, is it Opta Sport, whatever. Nobody gave us that chance. Nobody. Only that after we qualified, we made quarterfinals. That AI said predicted that Chelsea was going to win, and even when I saw it, I was like, okay, let's see how it goes. Then we still had Bayern in the race. We had PSG. We had Real Madrid. You know, we had all those people we had all those people in the race, so it wasn't looking like something obtainable. But luckily, we that we how do I put it? Um, oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Coach. I appreciate you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for coming in the chat. Yeah, yeah. So it's gonna be a very brief life though. So it's my first life in quite a while. Yeah. So I so when the Sporting AI or this Opta said Chelsea was going to win, I said okay, that's good. I had confidence in the team, but I was thinking, okay, can we beat Madrid? Can we beat a PSG? And though the app predicted that we'll win 2-1, and everybody was like, oh, the app has not been wrong, but this time it's going to be wrong, blah blah blah. And then we shut them down, 3 goals to nothing. Um, we did not only just win this thing, we shocked the entire world. Everybody who thought man is in the kitchen, brother. Why not share? Okay, all right, so okay. So everybody actually thought we were going to everybody thought we were going to lose the game. But what surprises me is the confidence that our players had. Our players were very confident in themselves. They built up to the game. If you watch the interviews, Levi Colwill and all of them, they were very sure. They were very sure that they would win. They would win the game. So, and to my surprise, they really stood up. They stood up. I know it was possible for them to win, but what I never expected was them being able to batter PSG in that manner. You know, it was so bad that PSG couldn't even take it. They couldn't take it. It's that was really shameful. They made PSG look like nothing. And you know, we winning conference league and conference league and qualifying for top four. To some people, is not enough. They were like, "Oh, it's conference league." Uh, they'll be like, "It's conference league. It's not not anything special." But then I used to tell my friends, especially Arsenal fans, I remember them playing UEFA Cup for 5 seasons and they still didn't win it. One of them we met in the final. Yeah. So, you know, for Chelsea, we we've really done well. We've done well because the the way that thing happened, like it was like a training, like a preseason game. And then some people felt, a very few number of people felt that PSG didn't stand up enough. That's not true. PSG, just like Kochi has said, yeah, they were rattled. Yeah, they too didn't see it coming. Yeah, they didn't see it coming. They were rattled. They didn't expect it. They didn't expect that Chelsea was going to storm them in that way. And I won't lie to you, I too was really, I was really stunned. I wasn't expecting that, and that really shows that our players are extremely capable. Our coach is extremely capable. Um, that's what that means. That we are capable. So this is giving us confidence to go into the season. And one thing that makes me very happy with winning is that when you want to when you want to play teams like that, and you are able to win big games, because that's Maresca's biggest test. Though he proved himself against Liverpool, I think he proved himself against, was it Manchester United? Um, not like he hasn't proven himself, yeah. But then what he did that day was to prove himself furthermore. And if you think Manchester United, if you think Manchester United was a fluke, what that means is that what the PSG mean, Manchester United and Liverpool, if you think he was a fluke, what that means is that he really means business. And I think that has really given him more respect in the coaching world. And I saw the joy in the face of our ownership, or represented by Todd Bowley, on that day. You can't explain that joy. Yeah, they made mistakes, no doubt, but everything is now beginning to really pay well. Everything's beginning to play well, and the good thing is that that's our what do they call it, model. If anybody gets it right from beginning, it's really good, because those guys are young and they're going to stick together for a very long time. And then if everything keeps going on well, that's a very, yeah, that's a very, how do I put it? That's a very good step for them. I'm really happy that that happened. Then when we go to the transfer market now, things are going to change over there in the transfer market. Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to share the link to the live show. Apologies, coach. I sent the wrong one. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I sent the right one up. So no, when for example, if we see how build up to the game, like the banter was too much. It looked like Chelsea was completely written off by people. But I like that, though, in the sense that expectation was minimal. Expectation was minimal, and people didn't expect much from us. So yeah, coach, I agree with you. Yeah, we could have scored five. The lap should could have scored two more goals. He could have scored two more goals, but and I'm happy. Palmer's confidence is rising into the new season. That's a very good one. So one of the things I observed about that game was that I observed that the intensity was very, very high in the early minute. The pressing was high, and I think PSG wasn't expecting that at the early stage. So I think Chelsea aimed to disrupt PSG's build-up immediately, and they were able to do that from the start of the game. So Chelsea applied intense man-to-man pressure. That's within the first 10 minutes. It was like they knew that the heat will later take a toll on PSG. So, and it amazes me how young people came all the way from England and they able to adapt with that heat. I watched one of the games. It was played in Pennsylvania. That was with Esperance. That heat that day was like hell. You know, coming back from the stadium, I think someone triggered fire alarm. Somebody was smoking, and then the fire alarm came on, and everybody was outside. And then we had to stay outside in that heat for almost an hour before we could go into the hotel. Uh, that heat. I wonder how those boys were able to play, because I actually thought Esperance was going to have some upper hand, because those guys came from Tunisia. It's a desert. They are accustomed to those kind of weather. Well, man, and that day we didn't even play with our full squad. It was one of the games that Maresca rotated, so there was a lot of young guys playing, and you see the way they took Esperance by storm. So I think it was the same spirit they used against PSG too, where they took them man to man, you know, and then they were able to target the man markup. So Rich James and Caicedo, they marked two of the PSG midfielders directly, while Enzo Fernandez was concentrating on Vitinha. So, and they prevented PSG from being able to control the tempo of the game, and that was really really fantastic. Yeah, why I'm taking my time to analyze this is just to also let us know that this wasn't a fluke; it was a game plan that worked, and I hope we are able to replicate most of these things against some top Premier League club. If we can go like into the season like this, we'll really take the Premier League by storm. You just realize that by the time everybody is trying to know what's happening, we've gone very far. So we also exploited defensive gaps. There was too much spaces at the back. Yeah. So and then our coach overloaded the left flank. So PSG was opting for a high line on defense, and there was the fullback's name. Is it Nuno Mendes? Yeah, Nuno Mendes was pushing forward. Was trying to push forward to reduce the pressure, but Chelsea camped out down the entire left wing area. Their centre backs were climbing into midfield to support. You know, centre backs had to climb. PSG centre back had to climb into the midfield area to support. So this allowed us to get more spaces behind them. Maresca really outclassed PSG and probably showed others how to beat. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, but the funny thing, coach, is that I think a few people are learning from that, because during the match conference, they ask Rich James if they've been watching videos of the games that PSG lost, and Rich James said, "Yeah, we're watching all the videos, including the one they played a draw. Yeah, that they are watching all this. Oh, hello, Bobby's at the. Hello, Bobby. I see you at the backstage. Let me bring you on. Yeah, thank you very much for coming on. Yeah. Hello, Bobby. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Wow, CFC jingles. It's been a minute.
Yes, sir. I can hear you very loud and clear. Congratulations on the win. It's really fantastic. It's a very lovely moment.
It sure is. Congratulations to you
Yeah,
too.
I
You
I'm
know,
I'm happy to see you here. Thank you so much.
my
Yeah,
advice to
yeah,
Chelsea fans is to
yeah.
enjoy, celebrate and enjoy this moment. It's a historic
Mhm.
moment. We have
Yeah.
achieved a massive achievement. Don't listen to our detractors, haters. They're all jealous. They try to minimize what is obviously going to be one of, in fact, if not the biggest club football competition in the world, given a couple of years. It has massive financial rewards. It has massive global reach to clubs in continents that may not be as well financed as we are in Europe, but will definitely benefit from this sort of money. As a Chelsea fan, We've made over 110 million pounds from this beautiful success.
That's true.
1 month's work. We not only have the prestige of this trophy with the commercial benefits that will bring, we are now, in truth, the winners of everything. You know, we won the Club World Cup in the old format and now in this new format. Look, we've got to be happy. But I'll tell you what, however, having said that, we do have a fierce season coming. We enjoy the moment, bask in it, but the work is not over. You know, we have some transfers to sort out. We have to make sure that this coming season our squad planning is perfect. Our squad depth and strength in depth is important because rotation is going to be important. These boys might be tired after not having a break, and we must keep our players
Yes.
fit. Because, you know, CFC Jingles, what has messed us up this past 2 years? People keep
Injury.
talking about youth, and yes,
Yeah, injury. Yeah,
we've
that's
we,
true.
we our key players have not been there.
Yeah.
You know, can you imagine a season if we have someone like Wesley Fofana a full season, Reece James a full season? You know, you're talking of a whole different ball game. We've missed a lot of key players. We've missed strikers last season. So if we have enough squad depth, be able to rotate and to protect our players throughout the course of a grueling season, especially that whole that whole December January period, we have a chance to do even greater things.
That's
Um,
true.
the, the future looks bright for us, but we can't rest on our laurels.
Yeah. You observe that every time we have some key men come back from injury, things go up. Like when Lavia came back the other time, when Fofana came back, we were going up. Lavia joined, everything was getting better, and Reece James as well. I just hope we're able to stay fit. If we're able to stay fit, like you said, we will go far. We'll go far in the league. But people don't really see that. Though. They focus on the age, and if you see, these young guys are the same guys that took the world by storm. So it really shows that it's not just about the age. It's more about the confidence because the confidence in them now, man. If they could bring PSG down like that, everybody, nobody can believe, could believe it up till now. Not even the FIFA executive themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, people are still reeling. You know, it's still, even us as fans, it's still sinking in. You know,
Yes.
I've been all over X, you know, pumping out information, and but I wake up every day thinking, wow, did that just happen? You
Mm,
know, it is amazing. It is a wonderful thing to happen to us, especially where we are you know, in the development and process of this project. It was needed. We need the fan base to get off the back of the ownership and that nonsense. We need squad depth and rotation. You see why people pick up injuries. That's why I'm scared about this Cucurella thing. We need another left back of equal ability to rotate to him. That guy has been playing too much football. Thank
that's
God he stayed fit, but you can't do that, you know, for another full season plus because we're going into a World Cup year. You know, the National World Cup now. So
that's true.
we've got to have rotation. We've got to be able to put Palmer on the bench for some games, big games as well, if necessary. Put Cucurella on the bench and not feel it. So,
Mm,
especially Caicedo, another one, rotate him, protect him, because these guys have a lot of football to play and they've only got this 2 weeks break, which really isn't enough. So, we need to have them have time off during the course of the season. And please, Chelsea fans, if you see them on the bench, don't start complaining. Oh, Andre Santos is on the bench. Oh, he has to find
yeah,
another club.
yeah,
Well, it's
yeah,
nonsense. You know,
yeah,
we're the
yeah,
only fan base that does this.
yeah.
Everybody else, look at Arsenal. Look at all the litany of players they're trying to buy now.
Mm,
You know, nobody's complaining. If it's Chelsea, everybody will be complaining. Oh, Chelsea this, Chelsea that. Look, I'm so proud of our club right now, but I know that we can do more and we can do better. Target Premier League, target Champions League. That would be wonderful.
yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you for your contribution. But the one thing I see is that if you it's good that they were not planning to go do any other thing right now. We're not planning no more competition, but I think we still have one game with Inter Milan, I think so, before the season kicks off, which will be
We
played in.
have two. We have
Okay,
Leverkusen on the 8th of August. Then we have AC Milan on the 10th of August. I'm going to go to one of
okay,
them. Um, but those are
okay,
friendlies. I don't think it's
okay,
a
friendly.
time. Yeah, because the guys would have been away for a while. They need to train. They need to
Yeah,
exercise. They
yeah,
need to prepare for Crystal Palace at home. So it won't be, the season would have effectively started.
okay,
We don't have a preseason. We
okay,
will have to take our preseason within the season, as it were, and hope that enough conditioning has will carry them through because of their participation in the Club World Cup. So it's going to be a time where you have to
okay.
rotate players to avoid injuries and all sorts of loss of form and so on.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Thank you so much. Yeah, we have Crazy E here. Crazy E, you're welcome on board. Can you hear me? Uh, Crazy E, can you hear me?
Wait, let me mute. So,
Okay, he's not. Okay,
all
maybe
right.
he's not paying
Oh,
attention.
there's something.
Yeah. So okay, he's not paying. Hello, Crazy E, can you hear me? Okay, maybe he's not paying attention. Yeah. Also, I saw that PSG really left a lot of gaps, during that game, and though our coach was after the during the interview, he mentioned that, and that they had a tactics that which I just explained earlier on that forced that gap to open, and a lot of people also think that is it possible for us to replicate this against some very big teams in the Premier League? Because this is I was expecting a very tough game, but that game wasn't really tough in any sense. Like Chelsea dominated that game, despite the fact that we didn't have we didn't really have possession.
Yeah, it was it
PSG had
was it
most of the
was
ball, but then we terrorized everywhere. Yeah, yeah.
it was a tough
I'm
game.
hearing you. Continue.
Yeah, it was a tough game. It's just that the tactics were spot on. The truth of
Mm.
this and the learning we should get from this, the spaces were always there. They were created by how we played.
Yes.
PSG play with a high press. And the
Mm.
answer to that is nullify the midfield and play the ball over the top. Now, that's easier said than done. But, we executed it perfectly, which is all credit to the players. Robert Sanchez in goal, his passing was immaculate. He is better long passing than that silly passing out from the back. However, the
Yes.
learning we get from this is that in football, if you want to be the best, you can't be monolithic. By that,
Mm.
I mean, you can't be predictable. You must be
Yes.
able to play in different ways
That's
depending
true.
on your opponent. PSG play the same way come hell or high water. And of course, football, we know from the Premier League, which
Mm.
is really something that helped us, that Premier League managers, they study you, especially if you're good. It's something we have to look out for. They study
Yes.
you, they study their players, and they plan for you. And you have to continuously adapt and change how you do things. It's very difficult to keep doing the same thing throughout the Premier League season and win it and even stay in the league, not to mention win it. So we have to learn that, okay, we played like that against PSG, so now we can play like that in game if somebody's doing the high press to us, which is what people like Arsenal do, and to a certain extent City, but we have our other tactics where we can drop off and look to play the fast break and sometimes play out from the back, which is what we did in that game. In the second half, when we had got our goals and we were trying to run down the clock a bit, we then started our usual playing out of the back a bit more, and Sanchez nearly gave the ball away then, but we'll overlook that. But you see, that is a weakness in him, and by then PSG was a beaten force. If we had started the game like that, we would have been in trouble. So it's just that ability to change tactics, which I believe now we've shown we can do, that will make us unplayable. Because you can plan and come at us this way, and we'll go this way. You can do this, you do that. You can man mark Cole Palmer, and if we have squad depth, we change him. You know, it's really being able to create that monster that will keep on churning out trophies after trophies, year after year for us. And I think we're on the road to that.
Thank you very much. Thanks for that in-depth contribution. Yeah, Crazy, can you hear me now?
Yes, I
Oh, okay.
can. Can you guys
Okay,
hear
sorry.
me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Sorry, yeah, we can hear you. Sorry, I added you initially,
No, no. I
but
think the
maybe it
problem
didn't
was
pick you up.
on
Yeah.
my.
Okay, thank you. Yeah,
Yeah, I
you have
think
the
the
floor now.
problem
Thank
was
you
on
so
my
much.
end.
Thanks for coming. Yeah, thank
Uh,
you.
all right, all right. I think
Oh, okay, okay, all right.
it was Bobby. I was hearing. Bobby was the one talking, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Greetings to you, Bobby.
Hi there.
Congratulations to world champions. Congratulations to all of us. And
Absolutely.
it's exactly going off of what you just said. The game wasn't particularly easy. You know, when you prepare for something and you execute properly,
It looks
people
easy.
don't really see the preparation that goes into it and they just see the
Yeah.
outcome. So it looks easy. But if we slipped up for
Mm,
even a second, it could easily have turned around. And everything, if you followed us from the season through to the final, you would see everything that has come into that game. There were so many aspects, things that we were forced to learn while we were playing Premier League games, when we lost matches, even in this game. When the coach tried the tactic the first time against Flamengo and we lost, right? It was also a learning point. A lot has been said about PSG's ability to press, and I kept saying that if people only paid attention to how we played, they will see that to some level we are also press resistant, and it showed. One thing the
mm,
players have picked up from the win, the Conference League win, was that mentality, and it was something that also factored in the final. Everybody was on their A game. There was a particular moment that really stood out for me. Dembele was pressing Sanchez as usual, and under pressure, he put a pass straight through the midfield from defense through the midfield, and I think it went straight to Joao Pedro. That is something that a couple of months ago, Sanchez would not have been able to. The ball would have gone wide, but it was excellent to see. So we did a lot of preparation, and one of the blessings that I've seen from this entire affair is we have a manager that is very flexible, and now the board is getting players that equally match what the manager wants. I think the future is looking very bright for Chelsea right now.
yeah, thank you very much. We have
If I can just say, quick one, also one massive thing that is glaring. We now have strikers that are clinical, who can put the ball in the net. Because we create a lot of chances, but
yeah,
the
yeah,
likes of
yeah.
of likes of Jackson and indeed Madueke, bless him, he helped us a lot, but they miss a lot of chances. Like that through ball that went to Pedro Neto, sorry, to João Pedro for the third goal. If that had been Jackson, he wouldn't score that. He would fluff that line. Maybe he would, but maybe he wouldn't. It's more likely he would have missed that chance, which,
Absolutely.
which is just the big difference. I mean, look at Liam Delap. As soon as he came in, Donnarumma had to produce two saves to stop him from scoring. So having that clinical finisher is also another plus for us.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, we have about 13 people watching. Please hit the like button. Thank you very much. We appreciate you for participating. Yeah, also, one thing, do you think going into the Premier League season, you're right that people get found out in the Premier League, and there's nowhere a tactics get found out like Premier League. Even the lowest of the lowest club in the table, they are the specialists in doing that. The very small clubs in Premier League, they are the
Yeah.
specialists in finding out someone. So thank God we know our guys, our coach is multi tactical. So what are your expectations in the early stage of the season?
Sorry, what was the question? I didn't get that.
I mean, what are your expectations in the early stage of the season? What are your expectations in
Wow.
the early stage of the season, Premier League season?
Wow, that's a big question. Look, I think in this, what I will call interlude, where the players are off resting and it's all about the sporting directors, the management, the administrators, and sorting out buying and selling. The first thing we have to do is to to execute a good squad plan. So far, so good, but there's still some outliers. You know, we've mentioned the rotational left back position. We still don't know exactly what's going on with Nkunku. I think if Nkunku leaves, there is then space to bring in somebody like Rodrigo. I mean, let's dare to dream. You know what I'm saying? You know, there's a space to bring in another attacker. People are talking about a centre back. I don't think we need a centre back. And of course, people are talking about a goalkeeper. I don't see them doing that for some reason because of the Mike Pender's project. I think they're trying to keep a pathway for him to the first team. Or maybe we'll get a mature goalkeeper. Maybe we'll go back for Mike Mignon. I don't know. But in the last, 14, 15 games, Sanchez hasn't done himself any harm. There's still that error in him. But if he can stay consistent and keep focused like he did in the final and the games before that, he may be the one for the whole season, and whether we like it or not. Centre backs, I don't know. It depends on who leaves. But you know, who's out there? Is there, the centre? If we are to add anybody to our centre back positions, it's got to be somebody like a Saliba or the two Arsenal centre back quality. You know, we can't just pick up yet another person that we're developing. In my opinion, we've got is it Mamadou Sarr? He's a youngster. He's a centre back. Hopefully, we should have to rotate Wesley Fofana whenever he's fit, whenever that will be. I don't support getting rid of Chalobah. I think Chalobah is crucial for us, and of course we've got Levi Colwill. So really, if we're going to do anything, it will be to sell. We know Desassi is up for sale. I would sell off Badiashile, and we work with those. But that's it. Our midfield is set. I really think the midfield is perhaps the one place in the field that is set. It's so settled, it's unreal. Um, yeah,
Yeah, thank you very much. I think the main reason why they wanted to sell Chaloba was just to balance the book, but the book is looking quite healthy now. I hope that will help them take a pause
yeah. He needs to stay.
because this guy
You're
is
right.
really
The
doing
books are
well. He
well
so much put
balanced.
into the club. He loves the club. So yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, Crazy E, what's your opinion? What's your expectation for the new season?
Oh, okay. Well, right now anything is possible, but at the same time, we might start seeing the repercussions of playing some of these players. I saw a statistic somewhere. Cucurella has played well over 5,000 minutes. We might start seeing the repercussions of players playing that long. So for me, at the start of the season, what I'll be looking forward to is how new players are integrated into the system, how the squad players start to really take shape. And in terms of our business in the transfer market, right now, backup for Cucurella because he needs a backup. And in terms of the goalkeeper, and this is the thing, I don't trust Sanchez. Not his ability to be a goalkeeper, no, his
Okay.
ability to sometimes lose himself in certain moments. So for me, if we're able to get a magic mic, I will have no problems at all. However, if the board decides that is who they want to stick with, I will obviously understand with them. And the on Chalova, well, I've always wanted him to stay, so I'm not even going to say anything on that. You guys have said everything about Chalova, and basically that's it. As regards the entire team, we can do a little bit of business in terms of the left wing, and then maybe a centre back if they feel a need because of can't really trust Fofana, who normally should be a starter. So outside of that, I don't really have any issues right now. I'm just looking forward to how the new signings will blend in, Gel, Esteval, Kittens, how they will come in and give these other guys a breather because they have really, really gone above and beyond.
Okay, there was a time we under Pochettino, right? There was a time Malo Gusto was being tried in a left back and he was doing very great. So in case we do not get a left back to support Cucurella, which I think we should, in case we do not do that, do you think Magusto will be a good deputy? Because what's this young British guy named Josh
Joshua
Chimpong,
Chimpong.
Achempong, yeah,
Chimpong,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Thank you. The guy is doing
I
great
mean,
too on the right, yeah. So
I I understand that, but at the same time, we still have to be very delicate in the sense that Luis James, even though God bless his soul, the player is back and he looks very fit, we still cannot 100% rely on him being available. So going into a season where we have one player covering for two positions that are very key in this system will not work. I mean, look at what it has done to our attack in terms of having an option, two options, João Pedro and Delap. Having those guys there has completely changed what the attacking line looks like because when Pedro was taken off, our attack did not drop. When the lab came in instantly, he fired 1-2 at
yeah,
Donnarumma. That is what I want in the
yeah,
left back
yeah,
position as well.
yeah.
Now, even though Gusto
He
can do
was
a
still
job
mounting
at left
pressure.
back, exactly. So even though Gusto can do a job in the left back position, I don't want him starting there. We should have somebody that can cover without dropping that level, or who can even provide a different level of versatility for the manager. That's just basically it. So yes, I understand. And as regards Josh, look, I like Josh a lot, but this system is constantly changing, and he's going to need time. He's going to need games to understand that. I wouldn't want to throw him headfirst into any game yet. I would like him to gradually find his way in. So putting that responsibility of being Cucurella's backup on him, or maybe him playing in that right back position, is not something I'm really comfortable with yet. This is not to say I don't believe in his quality. It's just to say I think he's still young and needs more time to understand the system.
Yeah, thank you very much. So, Bobby, your opinion on that? Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, you've raised a very interesting point, which is something I cannot see. I mean, if the club chose to do, it wouldn't surprise me. I think Josh is somebody that's very. He's almost there. He's almost in that position where you can say, "Oh, we can throw him into a game or two." I remember the game that because of injuries, um, Maresca threw him into, and he kind of made him out of the team for several games afterwards, and then he
Can you hear Bobby?
can you hear me?
Okay, I hear you now. Yeah, we hear
No,
Yeah.
you now.
okay, all right, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was saying Josh made some mistakes, and he fell into some conference league games after that because Maresca realized that he needs time. Just like Tyreek George, we found that in some games he was just a little bit too lightweight. Not to mention the one that they went and played him as a centre forward, which was ridiculous. But even on his right wing, the Premier League is so fast and powerful that if you lack physicality, you'll be found wanting. Now, Josh certainly doesn't lack physicality. And that's an interesting concept. I really want to see, and this is really down to what the sporting directors do. Because Josh is very much a part of Chelsea's plans. But of course, you have to make him feel he's a part of the plans and somehow show him some trust by creating space to be able to utilize him. So, having said that, he's multifaceted. Josh can play left back, right back, even centre back, and in midfield. Will he be able to deputize for Cucurella? Well, in the presence of Gusto, probably because Gusto can go left and he can go right. Gusto is showing that he's slowly becoming very, very mature and reliable. That is a good backup plan. But however, because of the magnitude and the level of competition that will face us next season, Champions League, Premier League, there's no lull competitions like the Conference League. I think at the very least we may need to get that left back backup, which someone like Hato and so on, and try and give Josh as much opportunity as you can in the right back in games. There are cup games coming, there are one or two league games. I'm pretty sure he can get a run out in.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, according to Fabrizio Romano, earlier today he stated that Nicholas Jackson and Christopher Nkuku are most likely to depart from Chelsea. So,
He said in Kunku that Bayern are showing more interest, but he just said keep an eye on Jackson. I don't know. I'm not sure if he will go. It's possible because he's now third choice in terms of striker. But people keep forgetting that Jackson can play out on the left because Maresca hasn't
that's
been
true.
using
That's true.
him there. In
That's
the
true.
absence of Madueke, that sort of extra backup left wing position
Yeah,
is there. So who knows?
yeah. That's his original position
Yeah.
before. Yeah, yeah. The 5 hours ago, he said there is a solid possibility that Nicholas Jackson and Christopher Nkunku could leave Chelsea this summer. He released that about 5 hours ago. Yeah. So, I hope they keep Jackson though because he will be very useful on the left because of those his runs, and he's also a good. He has a very good link up play as well, especially when you let him have the impression that he's not the front line man. He has a good link up play. He does that with Cole Palmer a lot.
Yeah, he is, and he hustles. He really
Yeah.
terrifies centre backs because he's everywhere. The only problem with Jackson is finishing. If
Yes.
Jackson had finishing to his game, oh my goodness, what a player!
Yeah. Thank you very much. So like I just felt that okay, they were talking about this Maresca mixed positional chess, and they always have a new definition for everything. They said they were trying to bring in the chess approach to his tactics, and they said with physical intensity that he shaped the game from the start of the whistle, so that it wasn't just dominance, it was a precision crafted methodology. That's their word. So, and it was executed just like Crazy said. The execution was perfect. The guys were able to execute it, and they said the result is like a signature win that will stand for a long time. And funny enough, um, we'll be champions for another 4 years. That makes it very interesting. I'm very happy that there will be no Club World Cup anymore every year. That somebody wins Champions League and then you go to Club World Cup. It makes it a very tedious process for the player every year. So now having 32 clubs, but I'm not sure if winning it gives us the opportunity to come back and defend it. I mean, does anybody have any information on that?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I've been assuming that. I mean, it's if you're taking that World Cup format, then that's the way it's done. But there's nothing I've seen that says it happens like that. And if it doesn't, and this is just without my bias so that we won it, I think it'll be a shame because it just doesn't make sense. You should give somebody, it's not like the Champions League, that's a yearly thing. You should give somebody who
Yeah,
has won it and is holding it for 4 years the opportunity to defend it. And another thing is
yeah,
that this is a competition that you qualify for from the algorithm of your achievements of the 4 years prior to the date of the next competition. So this winning it is one of those achievements. So to me, it just seems common sense that they should be given the opportunity to defend it, and I'll be surprised if it's not the case.
Yeah,
yeah.
I
Thank you
was
so
going to
much.
say the same thing.
Okay.
Unless they suddenly start changing the criteria, sorry, unless they start changing the criteria, going by the precedent they themselves set, we should be qualifying for the next iteration of the Club World Cup as well, because we are the reigning champions. How do you not have the reigning champions when you say it's a tournament of champions?
Yeah,
Exactly.
thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much for that closing remark. Well, okay. Is there anything, any of you, both of you have anything to say? I was about to bring the show to an end. Yeah.
Yes, I just want to quickly add look, we've found ourselves in a fantastic commercial opportunity. Not
Yes.
only have we made 110 million pounds from this competition. We would have been 112 million if we had beaten Flamingo. However, I think allowing Flamingo that win was quite strategic because it then put us in what one could describe a relatively, I hate to use the word, but shall I say a more possible route pathway to the final. I mean, whether that was deliberate or not, I don't know, because in the final we met the PSG, who at that time before we played them were really the ones that everybody feared. But that aside, we've made that money. Now we can maximize profits. Our sponsorship has to be looked into now. That front of shirt sponsor, I think, would be very doable, at a very high rate because everybody would want to sponsor a team carrying that world champions logo. That's an advert in itself. And Americans, this is more commercial opportunity. We won the trophy in America with American owners. I mean, those guys are expert business people, and I'm pretty sure they can find a way to get some juice out of that as well. So it is now this sort of lull period where there are no games that the off pitch situations can be squarely addressed to the benefit of the club.
Yeah. Thank you very much. In addition to that, I tried to know who actually made it possible for the president to be present, and I realized it was the FIFA president. I was thinking maybe it was because I know a Chelsea owner is also a friend with some people in power, but it was FIFA president who actually talked to him about being there, and he was like, okay, why not? It was very good to see him there. To see him present the trophy to us, it's a very fantastic one, and and that also will help that marketing, like you have said,
Oh,
because
for
it will
sure.
make a lot of people, yeah, attach seriousness to it. Yeah.
For
Um,
sure. And I know, there's some people that, they so hate President Trump and so whatever, whatever.
yeah.
But from our point point of view, and yet again the commercial line. You know, his photobombing of our trophy list, which I thought was hilarious, because he doesn't understand football, and he wasn't properly briefed that, hey, look, you hand them the trophy, and then you get out of the stage and let them do their thing. He thought, he's a showman. He thought he should be a part of it.
Yeah.
That aside,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And it's
Yeah.
funny. I laughed about it. I
Yeah.
found it hilarious. But that aside, now this is where the commercial brains should come in, because you've got the President of the United States celebrating with you as you lift the World Cup trophy. There's something in that
Yeah.
for money, for sure.
Yeah. That's true. And that's why I use that picture as thumbnail, because it sends quite some a message, whether one likes him or not. That it's a marketing strategy there. So Crazy E, what's your closing remark? Thank you.
Oh, okay, yeah. So as regards the money, man, let it just keep coming. We have done everything in the right as regards bringing in the funds. We are positioned in a very, very comfortable position in terms of negotiating for whatever deals, whether it's a sleeve sponsor, front of shirt, whatever deals we're working in on a very, very high note. Um, Going into the season, this one is to the fans, wherever they are, wherever they are watching. Please, I understand mistakes have been made in the past, and the team is still evolving, and we're still learning. But let us try to cut the manager and the players some slack. Sometimes we go in too hard on these people. Mistakes have to be made for them to learn from it. And in the long run, like at the end of the day, we will see the result of all of that. So let's give a little more trust to the manager. He has shown, I mean, even those people who were not willing to accept him at first for good reasons, I think he has shown that he should be given the benefit of the doubt. This goes to the team as well. So let's not write anybody off. Let's walk into the season. It's looking very positive, very, very positive.
Yeah, thank you very much. I really appreciate you. Thank you, Bobby, for making time out to join us on the live show. Thank you, Crazy E. I will really appreciate you too. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Coach, for being active in the chats. Thank you so much. And every other person that is watching live, I can't see you because you didn't leave a comment, but every other person that came on to support us by watching, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Please kindly like the video. Even when you come across it after the live show, please try to like the video and share. Thank you so much. We'll schedule another live show soon, and we'll let you know when it's done. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you, Bobby. Thank you, Crazy. Appreciate it.
Cheers, dude.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you. Yeah. Bye-bye. Yeah.